Good evening, Sister Talk Real Talk. My name is Monique Mo, and I am your host. And I am happy to say not only are we back, we are live, and we are video. We've gone from audio only to video. And I am here today with your favorite, I think he described himself as the world's favorite homeboy. Is that what I heard?
It was America's favorite homeboy.
Oh, excuse me, America. He's limited himself to America instead of the world. We're so grateful for that. Known as JC. And we are here talking. First of all, it's great to be back on camera. It's great to be back with the audience. Thank you for all of your engagement and communication and for listening to all of the moments along the way. And you can expect to see regular Sister Talk Real Talk shows again. And as I said, we're doing video. But what we're going to talk about tonight is, I'm excited. You guys know that I launched, see, this is what happens with video. I launched my new book called The Ladder Has Rungs, A Woman's Guide to the Male Relationship Paradigm. And with The Ladder Has Rungs, one of the things that we talk about really in the book is women really taking their power back. A lot of times we feel like that we're not in control of a relationship, and we have to settle, we have to put up with things, we have to minimize who we are in order for us to try to get sometimes what we say is a little piece of a good man, and we shouldn't have to settle for that because typically we're all in. And so one of the chapters in my book talks about the friends with benefits. Let me just go over the ladder really quickly. You can probably see in the book and you can see on your screen that there are several rungs, a ladder by which a woman really can't climb. She's actually placed there by the value that a man puts on her in his life. The bottom rung is the hookup, right? We all know what that is. The next rung is friends with benefits. The next rung after that is mistress. Yes, I went there. We're going to talk about that, but not tonight. The next rung is girlfriend, or the perpetual girlfriend, the one that he'll never marry but he's with. And then the top rung is wife. Well, tonight we're going to talk about the second step or rung on that ladder, which is friends with benefits. And JC's in the hot seat tonight because he gets to provide the male perspective. So, JC, thank you for being here.
You're welcome. And this is not the hot seat. This is the king seat.
Oh, really? Wow, it's going to be one of those nights. Okay. So we're going to go back to so that you can actually see JC sitting in his king seat. Again, we're talking about some information in my book, The Ladder Has Rungs. One of the very first things that I talk about in the very first chapter is called Who Are You? Because defining and understanding who you are and what you want is critical for you to walk into any relationship that is going to be a healthy dynamic. But we do know that we all have gone through phases or times or seasons or durations or decades, maybe in our lives, where things have become a little bit challenging and we get frustrated. And instead of waiting and holding out for the person or the type of relationship we want, the type of relationship that actually propels us and causes us to grow and expand and become our best selves, we settle. One of the ways that we end up settling is the friends with benefits. So, do you want me to explain that, JC, or you want to take a stab at it?
Well, friends with benefits, FWB. Normally, it's like it's not the woman you want to be with. You know, it's like we cool, we hang out, but we're engaging and we're having sex, but we're not like monogamous.
Right. Well, and the way that I describe it in my book is interesting. We talk about it not being, we say about it not being monogamous, which is the friends with benefits is you actually like this person as a friend. Like, they're fun. They're cool to hang out with. You may even go to movies. You may do things. So you like them as a friend. But there's also the benefit part of it, which is the sexual part of it that is then incorporated into it.
Right.
Right. But is this somebody that you see yourself wanting to marry?
Initially, no. I mean, guys, we honestly, it's like, oh man, me and her, yeah, we're sleeping together, but there's no commitment. So it's like, oh yeah.
Right.
But she's not, I mean, like, this girl, yeah, I'm not gonna, like, end up with her. She's just something to help me get through the time.
And okay, this is why you're not in the king seat. It's a hot seat. I should have a little switch that makes it get warmer as we talk. But do you think that women really understand that? When they're not when they're the ones that are the recipient of the friends with benefit dynamic, do you really believe that they are the one that they truly understand that no matter how much time you spend with them, no matter how long you kick it, no matter how much fun you have, or no matter how great the sex may be, that you don't see them as someone that you want a long-term relationship with?
Yes, from the male perspective, we believe that women understand that because they agree to it.
Now, you may or may not have, or you may know some people, let's just put it that way, some guys that have been in that situation, friends with benefits. Have you ever experienced or heard a woman's frustration or anger or shock or any of those things when at some point that friends with benefit dynamic ends, typically because a guy has found someone that he thinks is either a wife or wifey potential?
Well, there's a terminology for that.
Oh, there is. We're getting ready to get JC.
From the hood. It's okay. Like, okay, normally your friends with benefits, she would get upset because she caught feelings.
Talk to me about catching feelings.
Yeah, she caught feelings.
What does that mean?
She caught feelings. She fell in love with the idea of the relationship that's not a relationship.
Okay, I'm going to challenge you. Did she fall in love with the idea of a relationship that's not a relationship? Or did she actually fall in love with the man?
Now, that could be a really good question to ask the woman, but as far as the male perspective, believe it or not, not all men are really that dense. And I've heard Monique say this before. A man will tell you exactly what he wants and who he is. That's why men say, look, for the friends with benefit situation, I don't want to have any commitments. Like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I like you. You're good people. We hang, we kick it. I like being intimate with you, but I don't want my feelings involved. And to be blunt, that woman really just fulfills a need,
which is the empty space.
Yes, you're the temporary. You know,
no matter how long that temporary lasts, and friends with benefits can be on and off, right?
Yes.
It's like you have an understanding that if you're with someone, you're not together, and then you get together. Now, okay, this is thank you for that. So this is where I'm going to challenge us ladies. As you guys know, I am a professional and certified life coach and relationship coach. Also a Myers-Briggs practitioner. And I have a whole lot of girlfriends, and through the times in my life, it's very rare that I find a woman who is on the receiving end of the friends with benefits that's actually really satisfied with it.
Really?
Not the one that says that she wants friends with benefits. Well, she might agree to it. But if you think about experiences that you either know of specifically directly, or you have heard in the time when you're sitting in the barbershop with your fellas, how many times have men been perplexed and said, I don't get it, she lost her mind, I told her there was nothing serious?
Well, that's the stereotype that most women believe, is that most men are like, oh man, she crazy because she caught feelings. But today's time, there are more women, believe it or not, there are more women who are engaging and initiating the friends with benefits scenario.
Why do you think that is?
Today's time, more women are more career driven. More opportunities are opening for women. They don't want to be tied down in a relationship. They want to feel free. There's a lot more freedoms and a lot more power for women. Women are taking their power back, honestly.
Right.
So,
but I'm gonna disagree just a little, because I think some of it is that, and I have clients that have been in this place. I have girlfriends that have been in this space. Excuse me. Where it's not that that's what they want. It's that's what they figure they'll get. So they'd rather be in control of the situation and saying okay and try to turn their feelings off. But even in some of those situations, you told me about a friend of yours that was a friend. You only saw them as a friend. They weren't even friends with benefits. They were a female friend. What you didn't recognize is they got feelings for you. Even in the dynamic of there was no sexual kind of intimacy, there was none of that was involved. But they had caught feelings for you. Although they acted like and seemed like they were great just being a friend. Well, you take it another step with friends with benefits, and women's hearts get involved. If we're spending that much time with you, we actually probably like you as a person. We enjoy being around you. We feel safe around you. We enjoy your company. And I can't tell you the number of clients, of female clients that I've had where we walk through the stages of the real reason why they settle for being that friend with benefits. And it usually has nothing to do with the fact that that's what they want. It usually has to do with the fact that they don't believe that they either deserve and or will get better than that. So they might as well take what they can get. And that's a real issue. There's in my book, chapter 6, it talks about friends with benefits, and each one of the rungs on the ladder, I actually do a table. You probably can't see it on the camera very well, but I know there's glare. But so, well, if you get the book, you can actually see the table. But I'll read you to it. So there's some columns that talk about.
Guys, get the book. Guys, get the book. Trust me, men, you want to get this book.
Wait a minute. Why do you want men to get the book?
Because if you have a sister, a daughter, a cousin, get the book, guys. Read the book. Trust me. It will save you a lot of headache. If you're that guy that gets that 2 o'clock phone call, 2 o'clock in the morning, you got to get up, get dressed, and go over to this girl's house, your cousin's house, your sister's house, and throw this guy out. You don't want to go through that? You get the book, gentlemen. Read the book and then explain it to them.
From a male's perspective.
To your cousin, your sister, your aunt, your niece. Save you a lot of time and headache.
So, thank you, JC. So, in this column, it talks about, there are 4 columns. Column 1 is what he thinks of you. The next column is what you really want. The next column is what you get. Mm-hmm. And the 4th column is how you feel. So, friends with benefits. One of the rows says this: what he thinks of you. Someone to hang out with and to have casual sex with. What you really want. A monogamous relationship. What you actually get is a sex partner who sometimes hangs out with you. Mm-hmm. How you feel. Glad you're not completely alone, but ultimately dissatisfied. Another row says, what he thinks of you, he likes you as a person, but he doesn't love you. What you really want is to be loved and to be cherished. Mm-hmm. What you actually get is a confused dynamic between friendship and romantic relationship. And how you ultimately feel is you feel lonely and unsettled. Now, there's more to this chapter. There's more information. And one of the biggest things is that I talk again to women about really owning what you want and being really honest with yourself, right? Should thy own self be true? We shouldn't lie at all, but definitely don't lie to yourself. I can't tell you the number of coaching sessions, the number of late night girlfriend phone calls with ice cream and other stuff and all of these other things to walk people through it, or staying on the phone till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, to remind someone, a woman, a friend of mine, how valuable and how amazing she actually really is. But I have to tell you, ladies, if you're not honest with yourself, if you really do want to have a friends with benefits relationship and you have no emotions and and feelings tied to it, and you're satisfied with that, and that's really where you are, then that's you. You do you. That's your choice. But I'm going to challenge you. Really ask yourself, is that what you want? Now, there's also another part of my book where I talk about the fact that it's very difficult to find Mr. Right when your time, body, and space is being occupied by Mr. Wrong. When someone is in that space, in that place, in your mind, in your spirit, in your heart, it's very difficult to be able to get to that place where we can be in a healthy place, where we step out and say, this is what I want, this is who I am, this is the type of person and the type of relationship that I am looking for, and I'm not going to settle for less. If you're not at that place and you don't think you want to be at that place, great. But there are not many women, when you pull back the layers of the onion of their hearts, JC, there are not many that I found that when you really get down to it, they want to be in a relationship where they're cherished, they're loved, and they are the one. They may have gone through issues, they may have gone through relationships, they may have had their heart broken, they may have gone through a lot of difficult things, but in the midst of that, they really peel it all back. They want to be cherished and loved.
Well, the best option, if you are in that situation, look at it like this. Let me give you a scenario. Women, you are a car, a vehicle. And you want to be the purchase vehicle, not the rental.
That's good.
Plain simple.
That's good.
Guys will rent vehicles, and here's another nugget. When you're renting that vehicle, when guys are renting you, when they park you and leave you on the side of the road, they could be looking for their purchase vehicle. So they're using you to find the woman they want to be with. You supply a temporary need.
That's a good analogy.
Do not accept that.
That's a good analogy.
Plain and simple. Because majority of, it's now tables are being turned. Guys are actually experiencing, guys are catching feelings now, believe it or not. Cannot believe the day has come when men start to catch feelings now. And women are initiating the friends of benefits rule, but don't accept that. You should want more for yourself. Male or female, if you're in a friends of benefits relationship, you should want more for yourself. Don't accept something that's not going to get you what you want.
So tell me, JC, from a man's perspective, when the friends with benefits thing goes downhill, when whatever happens, so the friend with benefits is you guys are kicking it, you're cool, you're spending even more time together, where you don't recognize and the man doesn't recognize she's gone from friend with benefits to hopeful that maybe there's something else, because look, you guys gel, you guys are buddies, you hang out, you have great sex, you have all of this stuff that's going on, you can kick it, you can be in each other's space. What happens when that goes awry?
Well, first and foremost, let's
why does it typically
let's clear the air on one thing.
Yes.
If you are in a friends with benefits situation, and you think you're going to get the guy, 9 times out of 10 you're not.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
9 times
really
out of
slowly.
10 you will not turn him into Mr. Permanent. He's Mr. Rental, not Mr. Permanent.
Okay.
Now,
all right.
It's very rare that you can turn your friends with benefit situation into a relationship. It's rare, but it does happen. It's just, hey, it's a rare thing. I mean, we do have feelings, men. We do have feelings, and
you do?
Yeah, we do. And if you try to Steve Urkel us, try to wear us down, It might. I mean, it could happen. Some guys are. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. They're gullible enough to fall for it, but a majority of guys are like, nah. We understood the rules. If she catch feelings, she's breaking the rules, and that's gonna mess with our friendship. I like our friendship. I like what we have. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
So now, when you come to that situation to where you say, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I love him. I'm gonna tell him how I feel. You don't take into account that there's the broken contract, an agreement that you made that gets you into this predicament. So when you try to opt out of this contract, men go into panic mode. Like, wait a moment. First and foremost, we're not sleeping together anymore. Number one. Number two, what did I do to mess this up? Number three, you want to make this permanent, so you want me to give up my freedom and my opportunity to find someone who
you're not it.
I might fall in love with because you've fallen in love with me. This is the male perspective now. Most men are like, well, nah, she crazy. First and foremost, she done lost her mind. She done caught feelings. She broke the arrangement we had. No matter how many times you cook him breakfast, or you wear him out in the bedroom, or you take him shopping.
Come on now.
You know, it's like this. If you're not meeting his mom.
What if you met the mom and you're cool?
Now, if you met the mom, see,
but she's your friend. But you've been introduced as
changes
friends.
The game. When you meet the family, when you meet mom.
Because there's some women that will hang around long enough that it's inevitable that they end up meeting mom or the family, but the man introduces them as, this is my friend.
Right.
And women will get real, oh, I met his mom, I met his sister, but that still doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be that 1 out of 10 that you talked about.
Because, okay, the mom will tell you where you stand.
She'll be like, baby, let me tell you.
Now,
you just one of many.
Remember, mothers love their sons.
Yes,
plain and simple.
Yes,
now,
they do.
whether the son is doing right or wrong, if you are that right woman, then the mom would be like, you know what, you're a good woman. But many of men have messed up a good woman.
This is very true. This is true. So, you're right. Which goes back to, you start talking about women saying, I'm fine with the friends with benefits, and maybe they even initiated. Some of that may have been from previous hurt. Maybe not from friends with benefits, but other things like that. I think that many of men have messed up a good woman is a perfect topic for our next show.
Yeah.
I think so.
But women, the truth is, if he's not into you, you are fighting an uphill battle.
This is true. You actually can't make a man love you. You can't make anyone love you. What the ladder has rungs talks about is the fact that that ladder is where the man places you. You can't climb it. You can't change it. You may be able to go down on the ladder. He may think your potential and then determine later. But it's very rare, the exception, that you actually, if you're listed on that, if you're on that second rung, friends with benefits, or you're on the first rung, the hookup, if that's all how he sees you, that means the currency that he is going to give you, how much currency of his heart, mind, space, and time he's going to give you is designated by that rung, it's not going to change. No matter, as you say, no matter how much you turn him out in bed, no matter how well you cook for him, no matter how well you get along with him and his friends and it seems like you just fit. If a man has told you, I'm not looking for anything serious, aka we can kick it, we can hang, all of those other things. If he hasn't labeled you as his girlfriend, fiance, wifey, whatever the case may be, you're not that, no matter how much you may want to be. And typically, as JC said, I say it in my book and I say it all the time. Men, I realize this. They really do. Men really do tell us women what they want.
We are as open as an open book. We tell you from day one, listen, we don't really like complicated things. We really don't.
Well, there's an exception to that.
We tell women
You've
up
got
front.
the perpetual player who's running game, and that's a whole other story. They don't tell you what's up front. They don't tell you.
Well, this is another topic for another show. But they actually do if you just pay attention to the details.
What they do versus what they say.
Pay attention to the details. They'll tell you up front. Now, basically, they're just selling you something. They're trying to get you to agree to what it is they want you to do. But to stick back to the topic of friends with benefits, the truth is, you're just an agreed side piece.
Wow.
Friends with benefits.
An agreed side piece.
Yeah, you just agreed to be the side piece or the side chick.
All right. Well, on that note, we are going to call an end to this session. We have obviously more shows many more things to talk about. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you didn't happen to catch us live, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
To the Sister Talk Real Talk channel. You'll get notified when we're going live, and you'll get notified as we post new videos. We promise you that it will be hopefully entertaining, but more so, we really want it to be enlightening. We want to be able to provide information and insight that at least at minimum will help you contemplate changing your perspective or ratify it.
Edutainment.
From the words of America's favorite homeboy, thank you for listening to Sister Talk Real Talk. And until next time, keep it real.